Before time itself, there was only harmony. The heavens, vast and radiant, reflected the perfect unity of all creation. A kingdom of peace, an eternal realm ruled by divine love and order. Within this glorious kingdom, the angels, radiant beings of light, worshipped in unison. Their voices filled the celestial skies, praising the Creator, whose presence bathed everything in life and light. Each angel with a purpose, each note in perfect harmony. Among the multitude stood the archangels, guardians of divine will. Michael, Gabriel, and others, the strongest and wisest of their kind, stood watch over heaven's order. They led the host in service, their hearts full of loyalty and their spirits burning with devotion to the Almighty. At the center of it all, the throne of the Almighty, surrounded by an indescribable brilliance, seraphim hovered, shielding their eyes from the overwhelming glory of the Most High, the source of all power and majesty. Before his throne, even the greatest of angels bowed in reverence, and among these angelic hosts was one more beautiful, more wise, more radiant than any other, Lucifer, the morning star, the most exalted of all angels. His voice was unmatched in beauty, leading the heavenly choirs in worship of the Creator. It was Lucifer who stood closest to the throne, gifted with power and authority beyond measure. In this place, there was no strife, no conflict, only peace, only worship. Heaven was in perfect order, a reflection of the Creator's perfect will. But even in this place of eternal harmony, the seeds of rebellion were quietly taking root. Before his fall, Lucifer was the embodiment of divine beauty and authority. Adorned in brilliance, his form was crafted with the finest of jewels, sapphires, emeralds, and gold, each reflecting the light of the Creator's glory. His voice, a melody that resonated throughout the heavens, commanding the choirs of angels in worship. His wings, spread wide, shimmered with every hue of light, casting a glow across the celestial realm. Lucifer was not merely a figure of beauty. He was given great authority, standing at the very throne of God, walking in the midst of holy fire. He held power, second only to the Almighty himself, trusted to guard the highest mysteries of the heavens. But within him, a spark ignited, a desire for more. Once the bearer of light, Lucifer's heart had grown heavy with ambition. No longer content with his place, no longer satisfied with his authority, his thoughts drifted toward one ultimate desire, to rise above even God himself. He began to whisper to the angels, those closest to him, those who admired his power. With cunning words and subtle promises, he planted seeds of rebellion. Why must we serve when we could reign? Why should we not be equals to the Creator? One by one they listened, they followed. Lucifer's charm, his authority, and his promise of a new order were too tempting for many. 2/3 of heaven's angels turned their wings away from the Creator, aligning themselves with the one who sought to claim the throne. The heavens, once united in perfect worship, now found themselves divided, split by the ambition of one who sought more than he was given. What began as a thought had now become an army. The time had come. Lucifer, no longer a servant, would lead his rebellion. The war in heaven had begun. There's a disturbance in the essence. Every being in heaven could feel it. A shifting of reality on a cosmic scale was about to unfold. But in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, everything would change. Nothing would ever be the same after the events about to transpire. A trumpet blast shattered the peace, signaling the beginning of the end. The Black Third, the fallen angels, began to mobilize at the speed of light. Every being took its place in their respective lines and ranks. The more powerful angels positioned themselves on the front lines, while the weaker ones gathered at the rear. There was no sound, only the eerie shifting of the atmosphere as the beings of light, now clothed in darkness, assembled themselves against the Lord Almighty. As far as the eye could see, an endless sea of black formed rank after rank. The remaining angels of light watched in confusion and horror, their minds reeling. They would have to strike quickly to do the most damage before God's holy angels could intervene. They gathered in the vast expanse called Nomulus, the sea of glass that stretched before the mountain of the throne. Normally, to approach the presence of the One from beyond, one would fly into the realm of his marvelous light and bask in it. But Lucifer had chosen a different path. He would lead his armies to march upon the holy grounds of Nomulus, all the way to the base of the throne's steps. The 24 elders, suspended in the essence, barely noticed the oncoming tide. They remained absorbed in their eternal praise and worship to the One from beyond, clothed in robes of living eternal flame that shifted colors. Their praises were drowned out by the advancing armies of Lucifer. The four mighty beasts, full of eyes before and behind, took notice of the encroaching blackness. They guarded the base of the throne, each one distinct. The first was like a lion, the second like a calf, the third with a face like a man, and the fourth like a flying eagle. Each beast had 6 wings, and their bodies were covered with eyes inside and out. These creatures never rested, crying out day and night, "Holy, holy, holy, Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come." At first, it seemed as though the beasts would attack, but at an unseen command, they remained at peace. They growled and barked as the dark angels marched past, but they did not strike. Even the mighty beasts bowed their heads and backed away at Lucifer's approach. Thunder and lightning rumbled as voices whispered the many names of God. The door of the throne room loomed before them, a colossal spectacle beyond human comprehension. Made of solid gold and encrusted with unknown jewels, its enormity was equivalent to staring into the heavens from the earth. Inscribed upon the door were words, "King of Kings" at the top, "Lord of Lords" at the bottom, and "Everlasting to Everlasting" in the center, alongside ancient hieroglyphics of the spirit realm. As Lucifer floated before the great door, even his cloak of darkness couldn't hide the radiant light that emanated from him, now so close to the Father. His body instinctively responded to the holy presence, angering him deeply. In a fit of rage, Lucifer mutilated himself before the throne room. He ripped the organ pipes from his back, cursing the Creator as they fell to the ground below with a deafening clang. He tore out his vocal cords, casting them down as well, though the wounds healed instantly, a demonstration of defiance. Lucifer then crushed his crown, the Unan crown of the first angel, and threw it to the ground. The heavens gasped in unison at the sight. With that, the doors of God swung open with a blinding light and deafening winds. A low hum of many voices, as deep as the sea, echoed the names of God. The winds rippled through the essence, briefly pushing Lucifer back. At the door stood a lone figure. His face shone like 1,000 exploding